It's here. Football just around the corner. What's going on, everyone? Dustin here. Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. This is our Week 1 Waiver Wire show. We'll be doing these every week along with the Stardom Situm show, which we'll be doing later in the week. If you haven't already, get into our forums. We got our army of experts in there answering all the questions that come through, so check those out if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and start. We'll take a look at the must-adds in all leagues. First one, Ben Tate. Only on 70% of leagues. I thought this was ridiculous. All you Arian Foster owners out there should have Ben Tate on your team if he's available to pick up. I don't care if it's an 8-team league. Because Ben Tate is one of the only backup running backs in the league where you can confidently say if he gets a chance to start, he'll be a top 15 guy. For that very reason, you need to own him. Even if you don't have Arian Foster on your team, he's worth a bench spot just in case Foster goes down. Moving on, we got Roy Halou, only on 75% of leagues. I know what you're thinking. Redskins, what a mess. But here's the thing. You're picking him up. If he's available, why not? As of right now, it does look like Royster's going to have the job. But if it ends up being Halou, congratulations. You just picked up a guy with a lot of value. Just pick him up, see what happens week 1, week 2, and just see, if it doesn't work out, you can drop him, no big deal. But has too much upside to just be sitting out on waiver wires. Moving on, we got Rashad Jennings for Jacksonville, only on 75% of leagues. I know MJD's reported, and they said he's looking good, ready for football, but who knows what's going to happen with him. I've seen it before when guys hold out like this. They come in, they're not necessarily ready for contact in football, and they get hurt early on in the season. I think that could definitely happen with MJD this year. I think Jennings needs to be owned not only as a handcuff, if you've got the roster room for MJD owners, but also as a high upside just running back to put on your bench. And if you'll notice in this show, early in the season, I always say get as much upside on your bench as possible. Don't worry necessarily about your backup tight end or carrying 2 defenses or guys like Santana Moss who have limited upside at this point in their careers. Get as much upside as you can. When you get into the bye weeks and you need to plug in for guys with byes, you can worry about that later. But right now, it's all about upside. Moving on, Mark Ingram. Only on 70% of leagues. The hate has gone too far with him. And yes, I am talking to you, Nameco. He is a hater. We all knew that when he went to the Saints last year, that wasn't the best spot for him as far as fantasy value goes. But it's just a joke that he's only on 70% of leagues. He's on a high-power offense. I know he's going to be mixed. They're going to be mixing the ball around, handing it off to a lot of different guys. But he should get about 15 touches or so, and the goal lines on that high-powered offense. I think he's way too good, way too talented to be only owned in 70% of leagues. Pick him up if he's available. All right, let's talk about some guys to add in deeper leagues. First guy is LaShore, only owned in 40% of leagues right now. We know the situation with Javid Best. Who knows when he'll be back, if he'll be back this year. And I have no faith in Kevin Smith. He's always hurt. He's even gotten hurt already this preseason. He should be ready for week 1, but I think he could probably get hurt before week 3 when LaShore is going to come back. And if you can have the starting running back on that offense, especially the one that's probably going to get the goal lines, which LaShore should, that's a lot of upside there. I think he's well worth a stash. Stick him on your bench, wait out that suspension, and then hopefully you have a nice starting running back come week 3. Moving on, we got Pede for St. Louis. We've said it a lot this preseason if you've been watching our shows. Personally, I have little faith in Steven Jackson getting through the whole year. I'm going to kind of compare it to Clinton Portis a few years ago, all the way up. Even Brian Westbrook, all the way up until they had their crazy drop-off in performance, they were doing really well. A lot of times when running backs hit the wall, they just hit the wall and they just fall off the face of the earth. And I think that could happen with Jackson this year. They drafted running backs in the draft, the Rams did, to prepare for that. And I think Pete's the guy to own. I think he's well worth a bench spot in most leagues. Moving on, we got Daniel Thomas. I just really don't see them. I don't see Miami giving Reggie Bush nearly as many carries as they did last year. I think Reggie Bush is still going to be a big part of that offense, but I think Thomas is going to get asked to handle most of the early down work, and I think it's ridiculous that he's only owned in 20% of leagues. He needs to be owned in more leagues, and will probably get the goal lines as well in that offense. 20%, that's a joke. You need to pick him up in deeper leagues. Moving on, we got Dwyer for Pittsburgh. He's only owned in about 15% of leagues right now. Here's why I like him. Redmond's obviously been the guy getting all the buzz and chatter about him during the preseason, but Dwyer's starting to get some attention as well. Redmond's been battling injuries. Both these guys are somewhat unproven, so that just one more reason why Dwyer could end up being the guy to own out there. And who knows when Mendenhall's going to come back. There's been all sorts of reports that he might come back, week 5 or whatever, but I'm just not necessarily buying it. He's come back from a major injury, and if Dwyer plays well, he could be a nice temporary solution for you early in the season. Next, we have Collie for the Colts, only on 35% of leagues. I know the concussions are an issue, but before that last concussion, he was really, coming into the season as a hot, deep sleeper type guy that could have some, success with the rookie quarterback Luck. And I think Luck will have some instant success in the NFL. He's going to have some rookie bumps, but he should be able to go into that offense, take control of it, and really have a lot of success this whole season. And I think Collie could benefit from that. I think he's worth an ad, especially in PPR leagues. One pickup and play defense for you this week, and that's Minnesota. They had some decent defense. They had decent defense last year. They're going up against Jacksonville at home week 1. Jacksonville struggled to score points last year. I know they got some new weapons, with Blackman and Laurent Robinson, but MJD, who knows what shape he's going to be in, if he's going to play that much. Rashad Jennings, and they still have Gabbard out there, who I don't have that much confidence in. I think they're going to have a hard time scoring week 1. Minnesota could benefit there. One individual defensive player for you, and that's Luke Kuechly. Carolina rookie. They drafted him in the first round. Linebacker coming out of Boston College. Won a lot of linebacker awards. This guy's a real deal. Could be a tackle machine if you're looking for a high upside individual defensive player. Now, this is just a portion of the Week 1 waiver wire. To see the full list, get onto the website. Fantasy Smack Talk will be on the homepage. And like I was saying earlier, get into those forums. And Brent, stop hating on Mark Ingram.